Quantitative. And to have quantitative. Hey, Geoffrey.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
Great. Very excited to find someone from the Filecoin universe.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's. I mean, a lot of stuff happening. I am already on my way out of the Filecoin network. I definitely feel like. I mean, the main reason why we're talking, right? And
right.
And I've been with them for a little bit over a year. And at the beginning, it was very startup-like environment ecosystem, if you will. And then so from the director of marketing to the CEO of the department of where I was working for, to everybody, we were just able to cross-pollinate, if you will, the entire network and doing everything, wear different hats. And it was super fast paced. So all of my creativity needs, if you will, and feeling like I was being challenged, sometimes not really knowing what I was asked to do, really. And sometimes feeling that, I guess, anxiety because you need to do some research and implement as fast as you can. And then you go into to present an idea, and maybe other people will like it or not. So it was great. But then the last maybe 2 months and a half, now Filecoin has a lot of different people, very talented, smart people. And now my role became a little bit more monotonous, if you will. Still exciting because I get to talk to possible new people that are going to get into the network and paying some money. So then I am kind of a hybrid in sales engineer / account manager type.
I see.
So, but that's not really what I want to do. I mean, I want to. I see myself in the next 3 years being the best me, and the best me currently is a badass professional that really knows and understands human behavior and understands where attention is and how to understand that, and then to be able to effectively position a product or a service independently of where the people is located. Because one of the things I learned is that while some people in California were going through a very quick Filecoin technology adaptation, if you will, people in Poland, they were a little bit slower. So you cannot use the same precision in type message. I'm going ahead of myself, but that's just the reason why I'm talking to you, man.
Right. No, love it. Love it. So I have had this title. Let me give you a little background of kind of myself and where, what Roofstock is doing and where we're going and why distributed storage matters. So I was general counsel of the company for 2 years, and in the last 2 months or a month, transitioned to a new title called Chief Blockchain Officer. Last year, the board and the investors of the company said, okay, you guys, Roofstock's great. We're right now, we just do single family rental homes and making that an asset class, and a lot of cool stuff that goes on there. I'm happy to go into that. We're probably next month, we'll announce a $200 million plus equity raise. So things are moving. We have good traction. We have a lot of pipes, but not on blockchain, just in, single family rental investments. And so they asked us to take a look at blockchain. We figured out, yes, there are some use cases for us. Happy to get into what those are. But one of them in particular is distributed storage, and not just distributed storage, but anything that could be used to create passive income in a residence. So like Helium, Arweave, Filecoin. Filecoin was the one that we spent the most time thinking about. And the play there is to think about ways that we can. Right now we manage 10,000 homes. We're property manager for 10,000 homes. By the end of the year, it might be 15 or 20,000, all across the U.S., probably 20 different states. What if we installed a Filecoin server in each one of those homes? And why stop at Filecoin? Like, let's add Helium and Arweave and everything. And it's very hard to predict the economics for those. And there's a payback period, and there's an economic model, and you have to pledge the collateral. And it's hard to figure out what the real return is. But if we can get a return collectively of, $500 a month or more, that starts to look like a win for us, because a lot of the monthly rent on these homes is in the kind of $1,500 range. So there has to be a certain threshold where it's worth the trouble to have this whole initiative and build the hardware and install it and manage it. It's somewhat high, but when we start getting north of 500, it starts to look pretty juicy. And so the hypothesis is, why don't we be a catalyst for the growth of these distributed storage systems as part of our blockchain initiative? And at the same time, so we're kind of serving the benefit of Web3, or the decentralized, storage system, which is kind of a public benefit, but also we're creating some income, and we can figure out how we want to create what we want to do with that income. Do we want to rebate some of it to tenants to lower their cost of ownership or of rent, or do we want to take that and reinvest in more Filecoin, or what do we want to do? We can figure out what we want to do with the money if we have it, but it would be potentially transformative for the single family rental space if we can find another $500 a month of passive income. That changes the economics dramatically. And so that's really where it is. And this Filecoin initiative, I mean, in my mind, it's Filecoin, but like I said, it could be others. That was scheduled for like Q2, Q3. We have a few other things in the hopper that we were going to do first. But then, frankly, I just saw your resume through Emily. And I said, look, if we have the right person, we can kind of shift the priorities around and start testing this right now. Yeah. So I guess my first questions would be, how does that strike you from, the perspective of someone who's been in the Filecoin universe? Is this a crazy idea? Does it have legs? And then what would, does it sound like something you might want to work on?
Yeah. First of all, it's a very smart initiative, and the first time I'm talking to somebody in property management who wants to try and have Filecoin servers, if you will. And that's very smart because I have some friends actually in property management, and they're not thinking of that. So just from the get-go, really, I've seen so many different use cases and some of the different people in industry joining the Filecoin network, and then 3 months after see their results because I basically sold them Filecoin. And they don't have the infrastructure that you could have.
Right.
Yeah. So it's definitely making you a very dangerous player in the industry for sure. So, and it does sound enticing in terms of like wanting to work on it, depending on how do you envision the role.
Yeah, it's all open, to be honest. The idea that I have is what I said there. You know, we have one developer in India who's helped to set one server up, and my son set up a Filecoin server on the test net, you know, just before it went live a few years ago. But he's only like the 13, so we're not getting the best reading of what it could actually look like. But he's, you know, there's, depending on the Filecoin price, he can actually make some money, you know. So I kind of have that data point. I have whatever I can read online, but it's very hard to tell online what's real and what's not. And then we have this one developer in India who's basically not a Filecoin specialist. He's just really good with Linux. So he's, you know, the sysadmin stuff he can work through, and he can manage that remotely. That's, and then we're, like I said, we hadn't really thought about building out this team for a quarter or two. But again, if you're here, then we can kind of think together collaboratively about what your role could or should look like. And I guess the questions I would have are, you know, would you, first, do you have any information about what, you know, would go into creating kind of this massive network of Filecoin servers in different states? Can we think about that? And then what role would be appropriate for you in that setup? You know, there's definitely kind of just the physical implementation aspect. We have a whole network of people. We do all of that stuff in-house. So we have people, contractors and stuff that can install something. But we'd have to design it. We have to figure out the economic model. We actually have to buy the Filecoin and implement, you know, all of these storage contracts and manage them. And then we need to kind of set up, you know, the servers and figure out how we're going to manage all of these servers remotely. Those are kind of the buckets of work. So do you see, you know, where would you see yourself fitting in there?
Honestly, based on my experience already, I haven't. It's funny, man, because I've been from the Filecoin perspective, acting as a, I don't want to say salesman, but acting as a demoer of how it looks, the process to like get into the network, and how it usually takes to have everything up and running. But I've never been on the perspective of client / new network member. One of the things that is really still kind of a gray area for everybody in the network is we don't know if we, for example, if we have competitors or collaborators within the Filecoin network. So as we're speaking right now, there is a call ongoing right now that I didn't attend because I wanted to talk to you about like 15 different entrepreneurs like you that have infrastructure and the capital to join the Filecoin network, but they don't know if they want to do it individually or as a part of a bigger DAO. So all of these decisions and organizing all of these things and like, and honestly, the daily ongoing project management of like, hey, this server, this unit is not working, or we need a little bit of extra bandwidth for X unit for these reasons. All of that stuff is on the daily. It's a constant constant battle and change, and it's very dynamic because even Filecoin as a protocol itself is continuously evolving for many different reasons. So you definitely will need somebody that has that technical understanding and the ability to make sure that you are on top of what's happening in Filecoin as a protocol. So that I could do.
Got it. Okay. And so if you put your sales hat on and think about, I would need to persuade other people in my organization that it's worth doing this. It's more than just a hypothesis. It's worth investing, X dollars. How do you usually present that to newcomers to the Filecoin space?
Good question. Yeah, we have, well, it really depends because I have a exploratory call with a new network member. And so I really go through what they have and what their goals are. And so what I basically do is not even sales, because what I do is I review the requirements and the expectations, and I find the perfect spot for them within the Filecoin network. And then I put them in touch with somebody who can give them the exact infrastructure that they need.
Got it.
And in terms of numbers and data points and flow charts of information explaining why this is an opportunity that nobody should let go, because it really is like when people were talking about email, but nobody was talking about the internet.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm very passionate about blockchain for personal reasons. So in terms of persuading somebody, of influencing, I don't even have to do it, because just by how much passion I feel about this technology and the information that I have, they get it, and it's in my best interest that they join, and it's also on their best interest that they join.
Right.
So it's a very clear,
No, I'm with you. And the people you're talking to who are joining the network, how many servers are they operating distributed servers, or are they operating one data center that has a massive amount of storage?
Good question. We have every scenario. We have people that join, they do a JV, like a joint venture, like 3-4 people like you, and then somebody has a warehouse in Australia, and the other one has something in Boston, the other one in the UK, London. And so that's how the concept of decentralization stays true. And then what they do is they have somebody, usually a group of 2-3 people that are connected to the Filecoin network, and then they get what we call verified deals. So a new person wants to join Filecoin as a customer to save a large amount of archived data. And so to keep it decentralized and safe, we're going to leverage these 3 different locations, but then it's only one deal. So how do we divide the income of that deal equally in from those reasons? So it really is whatever you have, Filecoin will use it because they need it so that decentralization is real.
Yeah, exactly. And does Filecoin assist with any of that?
Well, we have a Slack channel, but everybody's so busy. One of the things I did was mapping out thought leaders or key people you should have contact with, because it will make your life easier when you're starting out. But it's not walk in the park. That's one of the things I also could do for you. I already did it. But it's a community. It really is. So you join this Slack channel and you're a little bit lost, and then you have all this Slack channels within this workspace, and then you're like, okay, what do I join first and why?
I've been on the Slack channels, also looking for information, and sometimes people reply right away, and sometimes they never reply, and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So listen, I have actual spreadsheets with contact information of like a key Filecoin ambassadors, you know, so like I already did the work for you, if you will. And I already have relationships with them. For me, one of the biggest challenges, for instance, like about 4 months ago, was that the one of the DAO members, they wanted to start getting what we call 100 TIV verified deals. So like to have the ability to manage 100 terabytes of archived information within 24 hours. So like you have a person that wants to do that and have enough servers unit to deal with the data, but then how do you cannot just approach Filecoin and say, hey, listen, I have all this money and servers, give me your
data. Exactly. Right.
So how do you start becoming valuable within the Filecoin community so that they trust you with these verified deals? That's key, and that's what I've been doing the past 6 months.
You know how to do that? Because that is so hard, right? I mean, and people ask the question, I guess another question I have for you is, why hasn't decentralized storage taken off? But my answer, having played around with this a little bit, is it's just so damn complicated. Right? You know, I mean, it's always being upgraded. It's not easy necessarily to get it in. You have to have specific hardware requirements. It's a long way away from the white paper, which was, oh, everyone can use their laptop to to store a little bit. It's like, no, you need a separate rig. It has to be top of the line, and you have to know Linux, and you have to actively manage the contracts. And then, like you said, you have to know who's who in the community to answer questions and get things done, and then become a trusted member. Like it's a whole project. We need to hire someone just to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing. And the reason why I'm trying to find something new is because of that initial chaotic setup, man. Like one of the, this is just me sharing some personal information. Like, what makes me fulfilled at my job, and what makes it important, and what makes me happy on the day to day is to be creative. We're not just doing work to make some bucks, you know. It's also about fulfillment at some point. So
that's right.
So to have the ability to solve complicated problems and to navigate the unknown, I miss that a lot. I consider myself an entrepreneur at heart. I say that all the time. But Filecoin is getting to a very enterprise level, and I am in this very comfort zone, if you will. So I want to go back to the chaos, and I want to navigate complicated things.
I see.
It feels like that's what you need, my friend.
We don't even have chaos yet. We have nothing. And between 0 and 1, that's all chaos, right? Yeah. We have at least a year of solid chaos, maybe probably a lot more. But I'm talking about an organization that we have resources, we have an impressive footprint, and we just need to figure out if there's a business case for us, and if there is, then just go big, right? And so we need to figure out, would you be able to help or put us in touch with someone who can help kind of map out the economic structure of this, and we can start putting some numbers on what this might look like?
Totally. I can set up a call, actually.
Yeah, that would be hugely valuable. Then, we can start to understand what economics we're looking at. And then we'll do a pilot, and we can talk about how many homes should be in the pilot, and where they should be located, and how much memory needs to be there, and how much storage needs to be in each one, and all of that. But really, we do need someone who can kind of take the lead on a day-to-day basis when I'm doing a billion other things, and just be focused on this. Wake up thinking about it, go to sleep thinking about it, and during the day, making progress and figuring out how to get things done in this network.
Dude, it sounds very, very, very interesting, Geoffrey, because I feel, I could have the ability to create and direct projects, if you will, and that's I'm looking for that. And so, I mean, you let me know. I mean, I have the Filecoin Slack open right now. You know, I can just send a quick message to somebody and get you on a more technical call, if you will.
Yeah.
Or like you said, more financial driven.
Right. Yeah, I think the first one is financial, because we need to understand if there's really a business case, right? I think there is. This whole thing wouldn't exist if there wasn't, you know. But what does it really look like? How long is the payback period? What's the initial investment for hardware and for Filecoin collateral and all of that stuff? We have a long journey here, but we need to make progress fast at the same time. So I kind of like where this is going. What else? What other members of the team or skill sets do you think would be necessary to develop this project and then roll it out?
Yep.
Who else would who else needs to be at the table?
Good question. So, I mean, you're going to have your own 3 to 5 type team, like a blockchain type team, because the second you have your infrastructure in place and all of your units are working, it's a matter of how much of that. Yeah, it's the same challenge that everybody is facing right now, is how do you acquire the most verified deals? You know,
yeah.
and so it's a matter of becoming very valuable. So you need somebody, we call it community manager. That one is, it's a 9 to 5, or even more, online, listening and going through all the threads. Have you seen the threads within the Slack workspace?
Yeah.
So reading through all of that, and then sometimes you just get a random message. Somebody is asking a question because it's dealing with a bug or something, and then an ambassador will help with a solution. And then throughout that thread, a new idea for the network is created. So somebody who's keeping track of all that information, that's one person. Because even though if you're very driven and you want to try to do that, and also to set up calls to better understand how to organize the location of your unit so that your setup is more enticing from the Filecoin Foundation perspective. So it's hard to do it all. So definitely somebody who is your listener, your ears, somebody who is able to communicate your offer, and somebody who is technical enough to understand the architectural aspect of things.
Yeah.
Meaning how to put those units to work and how to slowly but surely upgrade them.
Right. Yeah, that's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 people type of thing. Yeah.
But to start, definitely with me, if you will, or somebody with my capabilities and experience. Because, I mean, you could find somebody else and then, for instance, just ask me a bunch of questions and then I tell you what to do. But this person is going to start from scratch building those relationships. I already have the relationships.
Right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's why we're having this conversation, because I don't know how often someone with your skill set comes on the market, but I'm pretty sure it's not every week. Maybe it's not every quarter, maybe it's not every year. I don't know, but we need to be able to get in fast and start making progress. So I guess I'm mindful of the time, but do you have experience or knowledge or interest in any of the other distributed blockchain projects like Arweave or Helium or any of that stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going super hard in Polygon right now, and after Polygon, I want to take a look at Avalanche. Reason why Polygon is because as a layer 2, they have what we call Seiki rollups, and that what that basically does is finally creating the new internet, if you will. What we're missing, I'm sure you know this, but what we're missing right now is the ability to kill the banks, or to have everything decentralized. We need to be able to deal with at least 500,000 transactions a second. And right now, the best protocol that we have, one of the Polygon's CK rollups, is only 35,000.
Right.
You know, so like there's a long way to go to get to a new internet, if you will. But then what's happening right now with Polygon is that they are bringing so many different people with scalability ideas, and they're getting together right now, actually. So I think that if they manage to like each other and respect each other, in a year or two, they will be able to get closer to 500,000 transactions a second. And the second that's real, social media, communication, everything will be decentralized.
Right.
Because why not?
Right. Right.
So I'm studying heavily on Polygon, and I want to share with you one of the videos I'm going through right now, just for your.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I have it right here. It's very long, but it's gonna give you everything you need. So yeah, I'm reviewing Polygon, Avalanche, and yeah, that's it for now.
What about any of the other layer twos, like Algo or Solana? Have those caught your attention?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing a little bit of research on Sol, but then yesterday at 2 a.m. they got a DDoS attack. And
did they?
Their crypto went down at like 15%. That's gonna jeopardize the whole network trust. So, and I also don't want to get my head too crazy with every layer two. Because it's a lot of information. So yeah, I mean, I did Filecoin, and I trust it as a decentralized Dropbox, and I'm doing Polygon because I think they are building the next internet.
Cool. Okay. And how did you get to? I want to see the video or get the link at least. What brought you to Filecoin in the first place?
Yeah, it was serendipity, because I was doing product management for a software shop, and I wanted to get into blockchain because I engaged with some MetaMask integration projects. So like that's when I did this spin-off of OnlyFans, but crypto fans.
Right.
And so one of the small tech startups that at the time was interested in joining the Filecoin network, they needed somebody who was a translator between the technicalities and the new jargon of Web3 and their SaaS, because they have a SaaS to analyze social media. So I saw the opportunity in LinkedIn, and I approached the CEO, and I was like, "Listen, man, I want to go all in blockchain. This is my resume. I would be open to talk." And he gave me a shot. And yeah, it's been a little over a year.
Cool. That's awesome, man. That was Juan?
I'm sorry?
Juan?
That's
the CEO?
Simon. No, I mean, I'm not with Filecoin Foundation itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with, like, let's say Geoffrey Thompson's tech startup that's engaged with Filecoin.
Got it. Cool. Okay. And what, so based on all this, what title would you see yourself having in this role?
can be
it doesn't, and we don't have to decide now. I'm just curious,
Yep.
you know, if this is like a program manager type title,
I was
or
gonna say something like that. Yeah, it could be a product program project manager.
Yeah.
Basically, like
cool.
Leveraging the Filecoin experience and implement it within your business.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Great. So and what's your timeline look like? Are you in, do you have time, or are you moving fast?
I'm in Costa Rica. What do you mean by moving fast?
No, I mean in terms of the interview process and when you want to make a move.
Yeah. Well, you seem like a very nice guy. It feels good in my gut. So how fast are you looking to start?
I have to, immediately, but I am also in an organization that has 500 people. We're not always as fast as I want them to be. So if it's me making the decision, we're good now. But I actually have the CTO and the product person and HR and a number of other people that I need to bring in. So that, and they can be difficult. That's why I'm saying, like, it's probably a week, you know, more at least, of like conversations. Does that work for you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So another thing I wanted to do for you, you have my email, right?
Yeah, if it's on your resume, I have it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I'll send it to you. I have yours.
Okay.
And then
sure.
Maybe if you have like a set of questions, things that it's in your mind that you still haven't been able to figure out, and then I'll just share that with somebody at Filecoin and get you some answers.
That would be tremendous. It's going to initially relate to economics, and I can put those. I'll try to keep it to a small number initially, but if you can help chase those down, that would be tremendously helpful.
Yeah, I'm more than happy.
Cool. All right.
Alrighty.
Great, man. Thank you so much. Great talking to you, and really appreciate your time, and looking forward to the next conversation.
Thank you, Geoffrey. Bye-bye for now.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.